And right now, the time is 8:32 p.m. and the date is Sunday, October 12th. And we are currently in Brooklyn, sitting in my apartment building's children's playroom.
Without our shoes.
Yes, recording this podcast because last night we came home from a friend's birthday party. Neither of us could sleep.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Yeah, we love you.
It was a really fun party.
Yeah, it was great. And then came home. I was laying in bed. It was like 1:30 a.m. And I just was like, wait, me and Carolyn are fucking hilarious.
Maybe it's only us.
We're
funny.
We're funny. No one else thinks we're funny.
And maybe that party like hyped up our egos too much because we had a good audience and a good connection. But we think we're funny and that's what matters. And this podcast is just for us.
Literally, just for us. I want to look back at this when I'm like 50 years old and be like, oh shit, I was such a cute kid.
Slight spoiler on the topic, but like, how would you feel about your husband listening to an episode about you being hung up about a different guy?
Wait, that's insane.
Because honestly, there's no way you're marrying the guy you're talking about.
Yo, shut up. Okay, you know what? It's not impossible. No, you're so right. Okay, I can't be delusional. It's impossible. I just gotta tell myself.
Well, I know I'm not gonna marry the guy that I'm talking about, so.
Because you don't want to, or because
yes, because I don't want to.
Okay.
That would be the worst life decision I would ever make.
Yes.
Like, how would you even give a speech at that wedding with, like, a clear conscience?
Okay, thinking about your history, you're right.
No one would ever approve of it, and that's half the reason I could never get with him.
That's true.
Okay, we're jumping ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, okay. So I was laying in bed at 1:30 a.m. And then I text Carolyn. I think she's asleep, but I'm like,
I respond right away, which is all the texts that Christina ever sends me. I always respond within the second.
She's been waiting to say this her entire life. She's like, I need to get this fucking documented somewhere. That she takes like days to respond, but I always respond right away.
Well, I respond right away because she always says something interesting that I want to respond to.
Oh my gosh, shut up. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
I'm only doing it for the public.
Yeah, and I was like, girl, what if we just recorded a podcast just for ourselves? And she was like, yeah, I'm down. So here we are.
So here we are, even though we've already had all of our interesting conversations during dinner before we started recording.
Yeah, literally.
But we'll continue to produce content for you all. Since we are now content creators. Yeah. Which is a sneak peek for a different topic, a different day.
Oh my gosh. Wait, this is hilarious.
Easter eggs.
Dude, I swear, this is literally just for us. Okay.
All right, that's enough of an intro. It's been 4 minutes.
Oh my
3
gosh.
minutes.
We're talking about this.
I can do a little intro on our topic today.
Yeah, sounds good.
So despite our, dedication to our hobbies, full life that we live here in New York, in which we all have, busy jobs. Christina dances a lot. I'm in school. I have many hobbies. We all have other things going on.
Yes.
And, we're very, we are dedicated to our feminism and not centering men.
Gosh.
But the topic today is about men that we can't get over. Or two specific men we can't get over.
Yes.
And it's a topic that we talk to each other about a lot because, like, when you are friends with someone and that other person is not hung up about a guy, you feel like eventually they lose patience with you because they've heard about the same situation for, like, years, if not years at this point. But like, we feel that we can have that conversation with each other because the other person is equally delusional. So there's just no way to be judgmental because there's always something to have it thrown back at you. Is that not true? Would you like to add anything
but
to
I would like to add that you're okay, let's see, you've been hung up about this guy since undergrad. It's been 8 years for you?
Are you gonna give details like that?
Sorry. Well, it's out there. For me, it's only been hold on, let me calculate.
I guess yours has been a lot shorter. It was
years?
in recent years. Let's just say in the last couple of years so we give like vague timelines.
Yeah, what if he sees this one? Okay, yeah.
But okay, the point is though that like I've not been hung up consistently.
Yeah.
Like the being hung up is a more recent thing. in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So we're on a similar timeline. Let's just say like in the last couple of years.
Fine.
Or a year or so. Alright, I'll give a little background story on this, and then we'll get into our questions and like how we feel about it, I suppose. I think this person is someone that I've had a pretty long history with, and it wasn't like a super long relationship or anything, and so there have been exes since that I've gotten over much faster, even though they were much longer relationships and like full on actual fleshed out relationships. And I haven't really had much interaction with this person in the last couple of years either, so a lot of being hung up on someone is not based on like any actual relationship. We haven't really had a real relationship in a number of years, and so it's based on a lot of history. I think it's okay to give some information that like we've known each other since like we were a lot younger, like in childhood and high school and through college. And so a thought that I have really been thinking through is how much of being hung up on this person is like an actual feelings for the person themselves versus an attachment to the overall narrative of the story, because it's like such an interesting narrative and background and context.
I guess start with your most recent spiral.
Okay.
Like when you came back from your Texas work trip.
So I like often play with the idea of like reaching out to this person. I think another important context is that this person has like hurt me a lot in the past, and isn't someone that my friends like. We didn't have a very healthy relationship. My friends would never approve of him as someone that I should like get into contact with again. And I really struggle with that because I wish I could view this person as negatively or like with a lot of anger and without much affection. But because I still have I don't know if having feelings is the right word, but like because I like still have affection and a desire to talk to them,
like
that
an attachment
in some way. And I think we'll get more into a conversation of like what is love. But because I have an attachment to this person, I feel a lot of shame for having that attachment, because if it was with someone who was like a good person or we had a really healthy relationship, I would feel as if like, you know, still being attached to them is because of all these good characteristics that they had, and like that's understandable. Like my friends can understand that. But like for this person, like the only valid emotion towards them should be like anger and like negative emotions. And so I think that's
But also I just want to say like I understand why. Like honestly, even for my person, I feel like I've been given enough reasons to hate him. I think all my friends hate him. My old roommates hate him.
They hate him not just because of like things he did, but because
how he makes me feel,
how you act.
Yes, it makes me crazy. It makes me so anxious. It makes me lose sleep.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sure, maybe he's not he's honestly a really good guy.
Yeah.
Sure, maybe he's not an objectively bad person, but it's like, if he's causing my nervous system to explode, he's not good for me.
Yes, that's true.
And that's why my friends don't like him.
Yeah.
And I wish I could see him the way that they saw him too. But the reality is, for both of our people,
your friends don't experience the good.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And that's what we're attached to.
Yeah. And I think like so I was on a plane coming back from Texas this week, and you know, when you're on planes, you have like a lot of time to reflect and just journal. And I think I want to reach back out whenever I think too much about death. And I think the concept here is that I felt very seen by this person, and like there was a really like, they could see me as who I was. I could really be myself. And I think that comes from the fact that like they're not really at their heart, I think, a very good person. Like I think they try to be, and they do good things, and they try to be a good friend. But there isn't that like inherent goodness that I see in other people. Not that like this person doesn't have any goodness, but it's like, you know, you have people who have like, you know, darker experiences or like may struggle with different things. But because of that, I never felt as if I needed to be good. Like I always felt perfectly accepted as like whoever I was with all of my flaws, versus even with a lot of my closer friends, I feel as if, especially growing up in a Christian community where you're always trying to be good and loving, that I needed to always make sure that I was being a good friend to someone that I was displaying more like positive characteristics. And yes, my friends could see my flaws, but like there was just a sense of I don't need to try to be good in this relationship.
Interesting. And to this day, like, is that why you're attached to him? Like, you feel like he's the only person that you've met thus far that provides you that outlet?
No, but I think it's like the most extreme version, or like the most extreme version of it. And maybe that's not true. Because there's a level of like manipulation to it. Like maybe it's possible that like, you know, he created all of this. This is the back and forth that I go through, is that like he created all of this intimacy and he didn't actually see me as I was. He just projected a lot of his ideas on me. And there was also a lot of like intimacy, but also he would tear me down a lot. And like there was really negative components to the relationship as well. I think with my friends, I like want to be a better person. And so I like strive to treat them how they want to be treated and like get better at being like a good friend to them and always like be more loving and always like strive towards something. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think with him I could just like be like, oh, this is what I am. Oh wait, this has kind of gone.
Should I verbally abuse you more?
No,
you fucking piece of shit.
But like, isn't there a flip side of this where they're like, oh, is this just a narcissistic relationship, or like is this just like a, what do they call it, you know, negging a relationship where they tear you down?
Oh my gosh, that's been such a like a Gen Z term recently.
Yeah, like negging.
What the hell does that mean?
That means like when you give a lot of backhanded compliments to, like a guy might like kind of tear a girl down and be like, oh, you're pretty for like a short girl or like a Chinese girl or something. And so they give you a backhanded compliment, but also they make you feel like insecure and validated by them. Like they create an insecurity in you in order to validate it.
Oh my gosh, that's awful. And they do this on purpose to what, like,
to like keep you attached.
Oh my gosh, that's so toxic.
So like one thing he definitely did was that like, and he's like admitted this, is that he always felt that I was really confident, and so he'd make a lot of jokes to tear me down.
Damn.
And that's why like it's obviously a toxic relationship that I would never like open up again. But then I wonder, I'm like, oh, maybe like all of the connection was actually just like manipulation. I go back and forth between like, is he genuine with me or was he just manipulative?
Yeah, because I'm like, okay, because I think this, okay, let's go back to when you were like, oh, maybe I'm a worse person than how my friends view me.
Yeah.
Because I think he's
makes me feel that I'm a worse person.
Validating that, and it's like, that's...
But now that I say it,
do you actually think you're a bad person?
I don't think that I'm a worse person than my friends see me as.
Yeah.
I think he just makes me feel insecure when I'm with him, and I worry about that. But I think whenever I'm away from it too long, like after our last conversation, I was talking to Lena about this, and we were talking a bit, and I was like, no, like I am a good friend.
Yes.
And sometimes I'm self-centered, but I like, you know, am willing to take correction.
Yeah, and like also like no one expects you to be perfect.
Yeah. But I think, so that's why sometimes I do lean more on the side of like, he's just manipulative.
I think so.
And so that makes it hard because then you're like, oh, the connection wasn't genuine. Maybe both of those things can be true. But like, then I'm like, oh, it's not like real affection and attachment that I feel. The attachment is like an abusive, like tearing you down to validate you connection. And that's really hard to accept. That's like not it, but both makes you feel weak and stupid, and also like it doesn't fit the narrative. Okay, we took a slight break to discuss if we were getting into this. We never like officially dated, and like there was always probably like, to be acknowledged, like some tension, and we have admitted this to each other now, that like he was attracted to me, like I probably felt some attraction, but I never viewed him as someone that I wanted to date, and so I never like made any move regarding it. But it was difficult because I think he was one of the first people, not like the very first, but one of the earlier people that I like felt attracted to. And the history of our relationship is that he like crossed a lot of boundaries and made me feel really unsafe physically. And so my first introduction into like feelings of attraction and
Physical attraction.
physical attraction was that it was a bad thing that would lead me to be unsafe. Because it was a situation where like I could probably put myself in a smarter environment, like a safer environment. I like made certain choices, and of course, you know, when your boundaries are crossed, it's never your fault, it's always the other person's fault. But I also, because we grew up so Christian, it was like my mother's greatest fear was that I would be assaulted or like have some sort of like sexual assault experience, because she had had a lot of experiences when she was younger, and like in high school everything she did was to protect me from that. Like I couldn't walk home from school because she would look up where who had like was on the sex offender registry in our neighborhood. And so she would never let me walk home like through the next to the lake, and we would always fight about what I wore. And like my first my relationships in high school, it was always like we could never go out on dates, and she got really upset once because an ex and I were sitting in a car and talking and she like had a meltdown about it because people have sex in cars, you know?
Yeah.
So
but you guys were just, I don't know, talking about math or something, right?
But I think that really created a strong association, even just from childhood, of like desire and like attraction is inherently dangerous and bad because it gets you into situations that are quote unquote sinful or lustful, or in this case just like dangerous. And I think this first experience where I was attracted to someone, and so I put myself into a situation where my boundaries did get crossed, just affirmed that decision. And so the interesting connection is that a lot of the exes I dated afterwards were people that I wasn't physically attracted to, or it was more of like a demisexual situation where I had a really strong emotional connection with them. And so I could make the physical intimacy work, but it wasn't, I didn't have like physical attraction as a driving force. So I always felt very in control. If you're in like Christian circles, people talk a lot about the slippery slope. And I'm curious to get your take on this because I feel like we've had different experiences with it, but I never understood a slippery slope. I was like, if I'm making out with someone, that's as much as I want to do. And no part of me is like, I must have sex now. It's just I've always been very comfortable with things ending at that stage of, or that base. You know, if you're at first base, you're like, oh, gonna just go back to the dugout now.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Which is not Christina's experience.
Absolutely not. Well, it's because I'm actually physically attracted. Well, I guess you said you were physically attracted to this person.
But I think generally you have a higher libido too. Or you experience your sexuality differently.
Yeah.
And so I worried for a long time that I was asexual, and like I still go back and forth on it sometimes, but I think this negative experience with this person really put me off of really embracing my sexuality and being physically attracted to people. Yeah. Anything to add?
Which makes sense. Yeah, it was really shitty of him to disrespect your boundaries. No one should have to go through that.
Yeah, and I think that creates a lot of complexity in the relationship because I have an attachment, but I also...
That's why we all hate him. And we're like, how could you... Like, my gut reaction is like, how could you still be hung up about this man? Like, he did, like, the shittiest thing any man could ever do to you. Like, God forbid I ever meet him. Yeah, I've never met him.
And you never know.
I was like, if I ever met him, oh, he gonna say hi to Jesus real quick. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna be the end.
I think people are understanding about me getting hung up on it in relation to the boundary crossing part of it. Like, they're understanding of like, oh, you have a hard time and get triggered when he's mentioned or like when things come around. And so I often disguise how I feel about it, as in like I'm hung up because I'm triggered.
Yeah,
but in reality, I'm
but,
hung up
yeah.
because I miss him as a friend and I'm attached.
Yeah. So over time, I had to learn, like, as a friend, that, like, I have to embrace the nuance and the complexities of your relationship.
Yeah.
And I've never shamed you for, like, still being hung up about him.
I appreciate that.
It's more just that I hate him. But, like...
Isn't it hard to hear about someone that you hate?
But I don't ever get annoyed at you talking about him. Like, genuinely.
I think this goes into a good topic, because I feel like I've been talking a lot and this has been really one-sided. But I think this gets into a topic of, like, how do you handle when your friends always talk about someone over, or, like, talk about a situation a lot, or, like, aren't able to move on? Like, how...
But for you, it's like you have new thoughts or, like, realizations. So it's
I just have the same realization over and over. And I never learned from my mistakes.
But it's like different... No. It's like different things trigger it. Like, this was the first time that I knew it was connected with your, like, all your thoughts about death.
Oh, I feel like I didn't really get into that. But basically, when I think too much about death, I think how I think about dying and never interacting with this person again, and if I died, if I would regret never speaking to him again, or if I would regret speaking to him again and, like, opening that door. And so that's why death kind of triggers the idea that, like, everything will never interact again for the rest of my life is difficult for me to accept.
Yeah. Sorry, I was kind of zoning out because I was thinking about... I'm sure everything you just said... Well, you texted this to me.
Yeah,
and I was like, yeah, this all makes sense. I think... Because I feel like you also have not gotten sick of hearing about me talk about tea. It's so stupid calling him tea. I need to pick a different letter. It feels so stupid.
Really? Okay,
oh my
pick
gosh,
what feels
I was
natural.
about to say the actual letter of his first name.
I haven't actually used the letter at all for this person. I just called him this person.
Okay, you know what? I might just do that too, because T sounds so stupid.
I think in more recent months, I haven't gotten sick of you talking about it. I think it was more when I felt you were actively sabotaging yourself. Was more frustrating. Like last summer.
Explain.
Like last summer, or like right after everything happened.
Yeah.
When you were, like, refusing to
quit
interacting with them.
Yeah, okay.
Or remove yourself from the environment in which you were seeing them again.
But see, I still haven't done that. But now, do you understand why? Because I think back then you were like, oh, it's just... Wow, I feel like I can't talk about this and not expose the context.
You might as well.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. I don't think he's ever going to see this. Oh, here goes my pride and my dignity.
None of us ever had any pride or dignity.
Speak for yourself.
So for everyone out there who ever thought we were cool, chill girls, no cool girl energy here at all.
Absolutely zero.
Lover girls.
With an RBF.
I don't have an RBF. You have an RBF.
I have an RBF.
I think for a long time, I didn't understand if you were committed to dance or committed to seeing him.
Oh, yeah. And, like, to be honest, I had to, like, wrestle with that too, where I was like, wait, do I just like dance because I like seeing this person? And it was good that my friends were like, yeah, you gotta figure that shit out. I mean, I kind of already knew from the start. Like, I danced for, like, 13 years growing up. Like, I always knew there was something about dance.
Yeah.
The freedom of, like... Because I'm a very emotional person, and I'll talk about this in a different episode. But, like, my entire life, I was always told, or, like, it was always implied... You're overly emotional. Like, you need to, like, keep that in check. You need to, like, process it in a healthier way, blah, blah, blah. But processing emotions is messy. Emotions themselves are messy. And when you're dancing, like, I feel like I can just be a mess. And, like, there's no movement that someone's like, oh, that was, like, an incorrect movement to process your emotions. Whereas with words, I feel like people are so nitpicky about, like...
phrasing it the right way.
Yes. And I'm like, it's so fucking exhausting. And with dance, like, no one can tell me that was too emotional. Like, that was like,
because that just makes the quality of your dance better.
yes. It's like, for once, this outlet, this art form, this form of expression embraces and encourages emotion.
Do you think that since you started dancing, you're better at managing your emotions and like channeling it through this activity so it doesn't spill out in ways that it may have used to before you had danced? Like, is there a connection there?
Oh, interesting. Okay. So, because I feel like processing and feeling my emotions is very different from like getting over this person. Like, I mean, there's a reason why we're talking about this on this episode. Like, I'm so clearly not over him. So I don't think dancing has helped me like get over him in any sense. But
like,
I do
manage
think,
the outbursts on a day, like the spirals.
yes, I do think, I think when I'm dancing, it's like, I don't think about anything else. Like, everything else in my life just becomes like background noise, whatever.
Like, you can really focus on this thing.
Yes. And I enjoy focusing on it. Like, honestly, I still talk to you when I
You've
have
gotten
spirals.
a lot better at this.
Yeah, but I don't have as many outbursts and I don't talk about it as much because I don't feel the need to.
At least not in the
suppressing
moment either.
Yeah, it's not suppressing. It's not that I'm like ashamed of it or I don't want to burden my friends. It's that I just let it all out, leave it all on the dance floor, that I don't need to verbally
vomit it all over, like in a rant. You've never actually verbalized this, so it's interesting that we were talking about it.
Yes.
Wait,
shit! Did it stop recording?
When did it stop recording?
Oh no, it's still going.
All right. It's fine. You just cut the audio. I don't think we ever told you.
Wait, it's about 40 minutes. Okay.
I don't think we ever told you to stop dancing altogether, but maybe that's how you heard it. I think we were saying, in the stop going to this environment in which you see this person at this class.
Okay. Wait. Let me think.
I don't remember ever telling you to stop dancing.
Okay, because I remember, because I was mad at you for two things. Because at first it was the,
now we're getting just into our friendship.
We're like, fuck, man. In the very beginning, you were like, oh, well, dance can just be a hobby. Like, you don't need to make a hobby. I think it got conflated. Because I was annoyed at that. And so it was like, even if you didn't say, just like stop going to
dance. It was like you prioritize it too much was the message you got from me.
Yes.
And I think that was true because I think the confounding variable here is that because we were long distance, I didn't understand why you couldn't come down to DC more.
Oh,
and a lot of that was related to like she would have dance class on like certain days of the week, like during the weekend, and it was like inconvenient to come down. And so I would be like, one, it's like I didn't understand why you couldn't miss a dance class, and two, I was like, is it really your love for dance, or is it that you wanted to see this person in this environment? And then I was like, you can't go a week without seeing this person, but you can't visit me. And I think that was the conflict, which like came like a lot from long distance, and then also not understanding your relationship with dance.
Which like, I mean, two things. I mean, it was definitely not for him. It was definitely for dance, which, I mean, I think nowadays I'm a bit better about balancing like
now you like will
outside
miss
of
things
dance.
or like in the beginning you were just so like you felt that you were behind.
Yes. Also, it's like when you're in love with someone, you have your honeymoon phase where you're just like attached at the hip and you just want to see them 24/7.
Did you want to see that was me with dance?
Yeah, I was
did.
Like, I just freaking loved it.
Yeah. Now I think you definitely have a more balanced view where you still love it and you're dedicated to it.
Honestly, I dance more now compared to back then.
Yeah, you probably do.
I really do.
But I don't think you have the sense of like, I must get better and make it by a certain timeline.
Yes. And that's like a whole nother episode thing. When I hit my last birthday, I was like, fuck it. Okay, because like long story short, my mom is so stressed about me getting married and having kids. And I was like doing the math. I'm like, there's no guy in the picture. If I'm
Probably
gonna...
because you can't get over this guy.
Yo, shut
Not that she's had talking stages since.
Yes, and they've all just gone terribly because...
Great stories there as well.
The guy ends up being...
A predator.
Oh my gosh, this is too much. Why do we do this podcast? Why did I have this idea? Just outing myself. Wow, my 50-year-old self is gonna look back and be like,
that girl was a mess.
Fucking mess. But see, it wasn't my fault that he was a predator. How would I have known?
Yeah, how would you have?
Everyone loved him. Okay,
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off topic. My mom really wanted me to get married. Oh no, not wanted. Wants me to get married and have kids. And I was like, doing the math. There's no guy in the picture. If I'm gonna have a kid, and I don't want just one kid. Growing up as an only kid, it was awful. Okay, no, there were pros, but overall, I was like, I would not do it again.
But I want one kid, and so this is her like great fear for my child's life.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna be like an older sister figure. I'm gonna be the cool aunt / older sister figure to your only child.
I'm gonna have the most precocious only child.
Oh my gosh.
They're actually gonna be the most obnoxious kid ever. Think about the kid I raised.
Yeah.
They're gonna be so annoying.
Yeah.
Because I'm annoying.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, your words, not mine.
No, my
At
husband,
least you're aware.
My husband just needs to be like a really chill, not neurotic person.
He needs to have humility and groundedness.
All factors, all traits I don't have because I am my father. Wait, my dad always gets annoyed that I'm so prideful, but I just like copy all of his behaviors. Hi, Dad.
When he gets mad at you and you're like, well, where did I get it from?
He hates when I say that. Eldest daughter of an immigrant father is always a fun other topic, but
yeah.
So you were like on this timeline, and so you weren't willing to give up any classes, but you were always putting yourself in an environment of interacting with this person, and we were like, you'll never get over this person if you keep seeing them multiple times.
Yeah. And I think now I've found a good balance of going to other studios. I think everything you guys said was valid. I think I did need to expose myself to just like other dance communities, other choreography.
Yeah.
I was like, and I think it has helped me not, because I'll be honest, during the workday, I'm just replaying choreo from class in my head, like 24/7. And
yeah, she's just watching dance videos all the time.
Literally. And I think before, it would always be the choreo from the class with this person. But now, it's not.
You watch
just,
a lot of other styles.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, here's another question for you. Do you think you would get over this person if you stopped going to this class that they're in? But also, you don't seem particularly motivated to get over this person either.
I just love this class so much that
the
I'm
trade-off
not
isn't
willing
worth it
to give it up.
Yeah,
because I go to different classes for different things, right?
That's true.
Like for some classes, I'm being stretched on whether or not I can retain the choreo. But then there's classes where I know I can retain the choreo, so I can focus on musicality and textures, dynamics. And this class is that class for me.
It's important to your development as a dancer to keep going to these classes.
Yes.
I guess, okay,
it's irreplaceable. And also the people, my other friends in that class, I love them to death. And I was like, I don't want to give that up.
Here's another tangent. When have you moved on completely? How do you know
I know
you're over someone? Because I think like for a little context, I wouldn't say like we are hung up about these people in a way that affects our day-to-day life. Like it's not like we're both ruminating all the time and that we're not attracted to other people and that we don't have like other relationships or friendships or have filled our time with other things.
Yeah, or like crushed on other guys even.
Yeah, and like this is like we've talked a bit about like is it just limerence and like obsessive thoughts?
Yeah.
But like we would say that it's something that comes back with certain triggers and like every time it comes back it's frustrating, but it's not like a like sometimes there could be weeks or months or a stretch of time where like this person doesn't come up. And then it's a question of what is getting over someone and do you really ever get over someone that you like or do you truly love?
Oh, that's such a loaded question. Okay, how about you start? When will you say like, yes, I'm done. I've fully moved on. Like, what are the check boxes you gotta,
I think when you
off?
really love someone, you'll always like a piece of you will like this is so cheesy because movies say this all the time.
Yeah.
But part of you will always like love and have some affection for them.
Do you feel that for all your exes though?
No, only the ones I actually loved.
Okay, so
sorry to all my exes I didn't actually love.
Okay, so it's
kind of
one
levels of affection
2, 3, 4. Okay, out of your 4 actual exes, right?
Sure,
It's
yeah,
4.
it's 4.
Like not including this guy.
Not including this guy.
Who do you think part of you will always love? The first one?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the second?
There's maybe a little bit, but I'd say the next 3 are not.
Okay. So
like,
it's just this guy and the first one.
Yeah, I would say that like I don't know if love is the right word, but like there's always a level of affection.
Yeah.
And feeling towards them.
Yeah.
And maybe you like if they come back into your life.
Yeah.
You can't feel nothing towards them the way you can with someone that you didn't truly love.
Yeah.
But I think in my mind I'll feel as if I moved on when I no longer have a desire to have them in my life or interact or like reach out to them anymore. And I have like stretches of times where I'm like, So
that's what confuses me. Like, what if you don't feel that way for like 20 years, but then like something gets triggered? It's like you will never know because you can't predict the future then.
Also, moving on really isn't linear because it's like, I have moved on in my life.
Yes, exactly.
And sometimes things come up.
Yes.
But I am still moving forward because every day I choose not to reach out to this person.
Uh-huh.
So I think moving on, maybe just like love is an action, moving on is an action.
Wait, sorry, say that again? Love is an action?
Like true love is an action, not just a feeling, right?
Yes.
And so moving on is an action you take to move on.
Yeah.
Even if your feelings have not completely subsided. Because you can't control your feelings, but you can control your actions.
Yeah. So you're saying it's okay to always have, like, you've just accepted that. Like, if, even on your deathbed, you still
God, I hope not. But, like, maybe I get triggered when I'm older. You know, people get nostalgic when they're older, too. I hope not, but I can't control if I feel a certain way.
Yeah.
But
you would not define that. Yeah. You would not define that as not being over the person. Like, you would still define that as you're over them. Even if you get triggered 80 years later.
So this is an inconclusive question. Please weigh in as listeners what you think the definition of moving on is. Or, like, getting over someone is.
Because I feel like for me it's a little different. I can't even say that I love this person. I think...
Yeah, how would you define how you feel towards them?
Okay. Okay, for context, never dated this person, never, like... Oh, it's honestly so embarrassing that I even
She's rubbing her temples, guys.
I'm like feeling a migraine coming in. No, but honestly, like, okay, I think first I need to answer like why I even feel this level of attachment to this person.
Yeah, I want to know. Why?
I think he's someone that I respect very deeply.
That's rare with men.
Truly. Because even with the people that I've dated, like
You didn't
my
respect
ex.
them?
Oh,
That's fine. You could say that.
I was like, gosh, I hope they never hear this. Like my ex of 2 years. Yeah. Oh, he was like a really good guy. He treated me very well.
Yeah.
I liked how he made me feel, but I didn't love him as a person.
That's fine.
Oh, maybe not to him. He's gonna be like, damn, 2
Don't
years.
You think he knows that already? I think my ex knows I never loved them.
Well, that's what you told the second to last one.
Yeah, we don't need to go into that much detail about which one is which.
I never told this person because I was like, I didn't want them to, Yeah. So I like kept it really gentle when I ended things.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, very gentle. But with this guy, I don't even know him that well. Let me just make that very clear. There's a lot that I don't know about him.
And you were never in a relationship, so you don't know what they're like in a relationship.
It's just that from what I have seen and based on the conversations that we have had, I respect him a lot. Have strong suits that I feel like are weaknesses in myself.
I was just going to point that out.
And for this guy in particular, I liked him at a time in my life where I felt too scared to go after my like wildest dreams. But he is a big proponent of that and a big encourager of that. And there's actually not a lot of guys in my life who would actually genuinely believe that for themselves. But then there's also some people who they're like, oh, I always wished I was like XYZ instead. But then they settle for this like 9 to 5
A lot of the
life.
guys who dated have said things like, oh, eventually I want to do this other thing that's like good for the world.
Yes.
But that's so far in the future, and right now I'll just work this job.
Yes. And then this guy was like the opposite of that. And I was like, wait, I kind of love that.
So I have a question for you. Now that you feel you're a little bit outside of that phase of life where you now are chasing a dream and you feel more confident in that.
Yeah.
Has that affected your attraction to this person? Because now you're starting to gain the qualities you wanted.
Right.
Doesn't that lessen the appeal?
It hasn't increased or decreased my feelings for him because now I know that I want to be with someone who has those values. Like, I think for me, it was figuring out what do I need from a partner.
Yeah.
I think for my ex of 2 years, I thought what I needed because I was in very like toxic, like F-boy relationships before then. And my ex of 2 years made me feel very safe.
Yeah.
I thought I just needed someone who made me feel safe, secure, like he's never going to cheat on me. And that was like enough. And then I realized, oh wait, it's actually not enough.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known if no regrets about the relationship. I just
Good thing she realized because a few months before they broke up, she was like, we're going to get engaged. And I was like,
oh. Anyways, yeah, glad that did not happen. So now that I know I need to be with someone who shares that value of like going after your dreams
but I think this comes back to the fact that we're both very like type A eldest daughter, like we have a lot of capacity to do a lot of things.
If we want something, we're gonna fucking get it.
We expect that of our partners as well.
Like
I think that's also why I lost a little bit of respect for the last person that I was with too.
Yes.
Because that's my attitude is really not, oh, things are hard, I don't want to start it, or like I'm not happy with where I am in life, but I'm not going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like that's just not the way I approach things.
But you know what's so interesting? I was talking to another friend recently. She's very much like us. She had a whole line of guys that she dated that were also go-getters.
Yeah.
And then she realized, but now she's married to
Yeah.
a guy who's actually very much the opposite.
Yeah.
Where he's like, work is just work. Like, I just want to enjoy my life. And she's like,
Sometimes it's good to have that balance.
Yes. She was like, because all the go-getter guys that I dated, like, never made time for me.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
I wasn't willing to, like, give up time or give up, like, my hobbies and, like, career for him. So then it's like, well, then it's not going to work out.
There's something about the structure of a family where if both, like, sometimes it works if you're both a power couple.
Yeah.
But other times it is really helpful for one person to, like, have, not that they're less ambitious, but, like, they value things outside of their career and, like, bring balance to the relationship
Yeah.
too.
So it's like, I don't know, everyone's relationship is different. And I feel like I do want someone who, like, makes time for me. Like, my number one love language is quality time. But yeah, okay, so going back to, like, why I'm hung up on this person. So that's one of the reasons. I think that's, like,
Is that the biggest reason?
That's the biggest reason. I mean, of course, there's the other things, like, I think he's funny. I think he's funny.
Please know that I've never met this individual, and so everything I operate off of is based on what I've heard.
Yeah. I think he's like, very easy to talk to. I like that he can get along with anyone.
But these are all traits you can find in other people. What is it about him that you're hung up on?
It's that he has all of it. Oh, and he also
is good at dancing.
He loves
He's
God.
aligned on your values.
He loves God.
But there's lots of Christian guys in the world
that are also
have these traits.
Yeah. And also it's the fact that, like, he understands creative expression and the
Do you ever wonder you just haven't met enough people in the world? Like, sometimes I wonder, like,
Probably.
maybe I just need to date more, and then I would
probably
move on from this.
Yeah. I'm like, I wonder if I will only be happy if I end up with a guy that dances.
I don't think that's true.
I really hope not.
You just
that
need someone
really
who's
limits my
supportive
options.
and understands.
No,
dance.
but, like, it's like when I talk about it, there's a difference between a partner who is supportive and is like, oh, that's really cool. Tell me more.
And
versus,
someone who
like,
gets it and understands.
yes, and, like,
what it
has
means
something
to
to add to the conversation.
Yeah. And that's why, like, my ex and I didn't work out, because they had a passion that I tried.
Yeah,
but I
you
just
really
never
tried.
related to it the way that, like, you feel about dance.
That's a whole other
But
thing.
wrapping up, like, this whole idea of, like, moving on and people that we're still hung up over.
Yeah.
I guess, like, is the conclusion that you can't control your feelings and you're better off just accepting them, but moving forward in your actions? I think that's my takeaway.
That's your takeaway?
Yeah, what's your takeaway?
I think my takeaway, I think sometimes being so obsessed with getting over someone
Makes it worse.
just makes me think about that person more. So I'm like, at this point, I'm not actively trying to get over him. I'm not trying to like him more. I'm not trying to like him less. I'm just really focused on dance and, like, my other friendships that, you know, I'm like, time will...
You fill your life with other things.
Yes, like, time will run its course. I trust that God knows exactly what I need.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if he brings another person into my life that I fall madly in love with,
You're
that,
open
like,
to that.
pales in comparison to this current person, like,
Yeah.
I will be open to it. I'm not so delusional to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, if it's not him, I'm never getting married. Like, if I was there, then that's a problem, you know?
Were you ever there?
Yeah, no, I don't think I was. Yeah. Maybe there are some people that I will just always have a bit of a soft spot for. And
But isn't it also...
even seeing his flaws, I'd still feel the same way.
Yeah.
Because I do see some flaws, and I
Yeah,
still
you
feel
do.
some type of way
But
about
isn't
him.
it kind of, like, beautiful as humans that we can feel so moved by another human? Like,
Yeah.
it means in some way that you see something, you, like, see someone as they are. And, like, even, there might be rose-tinted glasses, etc.
Yeah.
But, like, I think, like, love in general and having feelings for someone is, like, a mysterious thing.
Yeah.
And it's something that, like, we shouldn't feel ashamed of.
Yeah.
Because it's, I don't know, if someone felt that way about me, like, I'd be kind of honored.
Yeah.
And, like, there is, like, beauty in it as well.
Yeah. Like, I always joke, oh my gosh, love is embarrassing. I think that's, like, an Olivia Rodrigo song title. Feelings are embarrassing, whatever.
What a horrible, like, world to live in. If
Yeah.
everyone always, like, treated each other with such to be so disposable.
Yeah.
That your feelings for someone, like, you can just move on really quickly.
Yeah.
And then, like, did it matter at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my takeaway too, which is like, this person is like very complex. The relationship is very messy and complex.
Yeah.
And there's something I really love about this person, and there's parts of it that I wish they were better.
Yeah.
Or a different person. And like, that's kind of true of all of us.
Yeah.
I think a part of having feelings is that you feel that someone witnesses you and who you are. And there's some comfort in that in this world, because it's like, life is scary. Time keeps passing. The fact that like you can have these connections with people gives a lot of meaning to our lives.
Yeah.
And I've always phrased it as like, having someone that you feel connected to or you like have love for just makes the passage of time more bearable.
Yeah.
Like, you don't feel so alone in the world.
And even if it's not reciprocated, I think it's beautiful that I'm even capable of feeling these feelings.
Yeah. And think about how in love and committed you will be to your future husband. Is that a roach?
Oh, shit!
There's a bug, y'all.
Oh, that's nasty!
That's not a roach, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Why is
That
it
was
not
something.
moving on my shoe?